Hello everybody, I'm speaking to you from the terrace at the refuge and you can possibly hear animals behind me. I just wanted to say very briefly thank you to people who offered to help me in preparing a grant. There are some people I was going to get back to for further assistance, but I'm so sorry for having not done that yet because it's been a really very busy week. Apart from our admissions, and you will have seen those on social media, it was the time for our annual general meeting. When I say that, I mean here in Morocco, because of course you will know we have a charity in the UK and an association here in Morocco, and we are bound under Moroccan law to hold a general meeting every year to which the local community are invited, and we then choose our executive committee for the next year. It was upsetting on one level because it's been a hard year, a really tough year through the pandemic, and I don't need to go into that in detail. And it's a year where we lost our manager, and I'm not going to go into that in any detail either. But I think it was felt by one of the trustees who came from the village that he was not involved in the decision making, and he decided to resign, and in doing so made various statements about how he was excluded. The staff found that particularly distressing because let's face it, let's be honest, if a mule comes in a distressed state, we don't have time to call a trustee meeting and ask their approval. Decisions have to be taken on a day-to-day basis here at the refuge. And I'm a trustee also, and I'm the treasurer, and I'm responsible for the money. And I'm sure you would expect me to do that diligently because of the relationship I have with all of you and the donations we do receive. And I'm sure that if you look at our end of year accounts, which will be published shortly, you will see how very carefully we spent the money. We have done a huge amount on comparatively little, and we've kept all our staff employed. But we are pleased because we now have a new team going forward. We have, of course, our two managers, Simo and Mohammed. Simo, Mohammed and Ayub, who you will know have performed magnificently. We're very proud of them and the rest of the team that work here. And we have two new trustees who come from the non-Moroccan community but are resident here in Morocco and have lived here for many, many years. One of them is Pat Banner, who has her own company in Morocco, and I'm sure you'll learn more about that as time goes on. But she comes with a wealth of management experience, and she has already organised and got underway ensuring proper insurance for all our staff. So thank you, Pat. Secondly, we have Anna Walker, who we have known ever since we've been here in Morocco, has always been very committed to animal welfare, but also brings a wealth of management experience and comes from a nursing background, and her advice will be valuable to the boys down in the clinic, I'm sure. And then thirdly, we're delighted that we have a Moroccan trustee who happens to be the manager, the Moroccan manager at the Berber Lodge, which is a hotel in the village of Nas. And we're quite excited about that. Firstly, we love the Berber Lodge. It's a wonderful place. It's built in the very traditional Berber style, and it has a very good reputation. So when the time comes for people to visit us again, that's something that some of you might feel it's worth looking at. But for us personally, we feel that this person who has expertise in the hospitality industry will help us when our cafe opens, will be able to advise us on the best way forward. Because those of you that know me, and particularly my family, know I can hardly boil a kettle. So I don't bring huge amounts of expertise there. But we're continuing to do our best. We still miss you all, and we're very grateful to those of you that do follow us and send us warm regards. And sometimes I get a little embarrassed when people say, we admire what you do, we admire your compassion, and so on. And I'd like to make it clear again that for myself, and I'm sure I speak for Charles as well, what we have done here in Morocco is based very much on our past life, where we were involved in trade union, human rights law, and we feel very strongly that what we do now is protecting and developing the rights of working animals in Morocco, and that's the most important thing to us. And we get huge amounts of a sense of satisfaction seeing some of the animals live their retirement out here in peace and tranquility. I'm hoping to video tomorrow and show you how our stables are coming on at the front of the land, and the horses hopefully will move up there the week after next. We have 3 donkeys coming in from Agadir, who are coming from a refuge down there, someone we respect hugely. It's the Sunshine Refuge in Agadir, and Michelle Osberger, who we know has been working hard there for nearly 20 years now, but she primarily concentrates on dogs and cats and has more than her hands full. But she has, of course, over the years rescued some donkeys. We're taking 3 of those donkeys to relieve a little pressure on the land that she has down there for the rest of her animals. So I think that's a good example of how we can all work cooperatively together. And I will put a link through to Michelle's charity in Agadir, because some of you may well be very interested in looking at that. Today is Friday, which is the religious day here in Morocco, and our staff have the day off today, but we always have 3 in. Simo and Ayub always come in, and 1 other person, and they look after the donkeys between them. But it's a quiet day, and I can just hear in the background gates are opening and shutting, and they're starting to settle them down for the evening. So we'll speak again soon, and if you keep an eye on my website, in another week or 2 I will have posted our report for the Moroccan Association and a breakdown of a summary of our accounts. So bye for now.